Hey guys, I've had a lot of people ask me to make this video, 10 things that I love about the Nissan Skyline. I thought about that and I figured I'm an honest person. I don't think I can come up with 10 things that I love about the Skyline. I think I can come up with 5, and I can come up with 5 things that I don't like about it, and I'm going to share those with you guys today. So let's start with what it is first. 1989 Nissan Skyline, BNR32, or the Nissan Skyline GTR R32, also known as Godzilla, the original, the one and only. The other ones aren't even supposed to be called that. Whether or not they have t-shirts, I don't care. Anyway, so the first thing that I love about this car is the styling. I love the body style of this car. It's iconic. When you see these taillights in the middle of the night, you're gonna be like, dude, what is that? Is that an Impala? I'm just kidding. I love the flares. I like the stance on this one. It's on BC coilovers. It's lowered. This is actually the highest setting that it's got, and it's still a little too low for me personally, but it is what it is. Body style, number 1. Number 2 is I love the simplicity. This car is super simple inside, and I'm talking about controls. It's actually a complicated machine with a Tessa and Hicus and all that, but when you're driving it, you can tell that it's about the driving experience. Nothing else really going on. Seating position's awesome. Next thing I love about this car is the engine and transmission. I love the sound that they make. I like how strong they are. Everything about them. Just awesome. This one's been, the transmission on this one has been rebuilt, so that might be not the same for everyone, but let me just get this guy open. So RB26, this thing just got powder coated not too long ago when we did the timing belt change. Got those sent out. Came out okay. Small bubble right there that drives me nuts, but whatever. So engine, transmission. I love the handling on this car. It handles like, I mean, I've never driven a car that with this kind of handling, and it doesn't say much because all my other cars were Subarus, so yeah, but I mean, look at this thing. I really do love the way this car looks. It is one of my favorite Skyline styles, honestly. Just so simple, so clean, and the flares just kind of add this like aggressiveness to it that, I don't know, I just love it. But the number one thing that I love about this car is the dual personality that it has. Under boost, under 4,000 RPM, drives like a normal car, honestly. You pass that boost barrier and it just throws you back, and it becomes violent, and it sounds violent, it feels violent. It just really, it's just an amazing experience, and I actually love it. I don't want it to be a smooth power band. I like that it just jumps up and it's like, hey, I'm crazy. And the last one that is kind of the in between the love and hate. You know what? I'll go over it at the end. So what I hate, and it really depends on what you want out of this car. But for me, the number one issue that I had with this car when I first got it was the rubber and the plastic. Everything that is rubber or plastic on a car this old, I mean 1989, so we're talking about like 32 years old, it's just, I can't even tell you, like everything that has to be replaced. This is one of the last things that's left. It's like this trim around the doors, trim around the windshield, the trim around the back. Look at that. And it's such a poor design that water pools at the bottom here and causes crazy rust issues if you don't take care of it, and this car definitely wasn't taken care of. and it's something that needs to be addressed immediately. And it's a real, just unfortunate, but it is what it is. So they sell pieces that are full all the way around, so you don't have to deal with these joints and water getting in there, but it's a pain in the butt, and it's going to probably be really expensive. So the rubber, the plastic, and the rust, that's my number one complaint. Number two complaint is the old tech. When technology comes out, like a Tesla or a Hicus, it's probably super cool. Like, oh, it'll allocate torque to the front if it detects spin in the back, but that technology gets old pretty quickly, and 32 years later, it's definitely dated. So some of those things that were cool are now a pain to maintain because they're hydraulic. Parts are not cheap. So old tech that is getting old, which brings me to the next one, which is the maintenance and GTR tax. The maintenance on this car is very expensive. It's something that you always have to work on. And the number one example on mine, for example, is the ABS delete. ABS failed while I was driving. Huge problem, and scared the crap out of me. I did an ABS delete because the actual ABS unit from Nissan was $4,500. You can buy other ABS units, like I think the Z32 might work, but I didn't feel like doing something that didn't belong in the car, so I figured might as well make it lighter and less stuff to maintain. The GTR tax that I'm talking about is for real. If you wanted to use the Nissan Heritage program, which is awesome that they're doing, it's going to be expensive. Some things aren't. I was surprised. The water pump was not that expensive. When we did the timing belt change, it was like $250. But overall, it's pretty steep. And the other part of the GTR tax that I don't think people talk about enough is the time. It's going to take a long time. If you're ordering a part from the Heritage program, it can take months before you get the part that you're looking for. You could try Terra Firma. You could try reaching out to some of the OGs in the game, like Sean Morris or Chris Driver, but it's still a crapshoot. With all those things combined, it brings me to my fourth biggest issue with this car, which is the fear of driving it aggressively. When you're worried about things failing on a car, or if you're not sure how it's going to do, full send becomes a little scary. So it's just something that I personally, like I said in the beginning, it depends on what you want out of the car. I want a car that I can drive all the time, that I can really enjoy. And with this one, I feel like there are plenty of times where I'm driving around in Boston and I'm just like, oh dude, please, I hope nobody hits this car right now, and you drive super careful. And people are probably like, oh, this guy's just trying to get attention, when in reality you're just trying to not spend $2,000 because some idiot scraped your car or something. Final point is the insurance and funding. Getting the funding for this car is not going to be easy. If you don't have cash in hand, you're going to have to go through somebody like JJ Best. Insurance is going to have to be through somebody like Grundy, or I don't know. It's not an everyday purchase. So it's something that I feel like people need to really think about before they buy something like this, because you really got to keep it stored someplace safe so people aren't trying to break into it, so the weather isn't destroying it, and at the same time something that you can actually drive around and enjoy. So it's kind of a weird balancing act. So the final one that is kind of between love and hate is the attention that this car receives. It receives a ton of attention, and that could be cool, right? When you're driving, it's kind of cool. Like, people are like, oh, hey, like, that thing's awesome, or some people know what it is. Sometimes most of the time you get the same comment, which is you're on the wrong side of the car, and you kind of chuckle because you heard it so many times, but at the same time you don't want to be rude. But yeah, man, people have definitely tried to break into this car. I was at a shop that somebody tried to break into it, and they destroyed that door that you're looking at right now. This door is actually purchased from Tommy Effia, his GTR got T-boned and this side was unharmed, so I was able to pick it up from him and replace this door. But then there was also a hit and run where this side of the car got hurt, and trying to track down a door took forever. Finally got it from Pride Motorsport in New Jersey, I believe. It might be Pennsylvania, but I'm pretty sure it's New Jersey. So the attention that it gets can be good or it can be bad. And that's something that I don't think most people think about. When you're falling in love with a car like this, you don't really think about those things until you own it and start realizing the issues that you might have. So I hope this video is informative. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please give me a like, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys later.
Wow. Exorcist. Good Lord, man. Good Lord. The demons have been exorcised. Oh my God. That's awesome.